Every day we get asked a lot of questions about our robot lawnmowers, and we thought it'd be a great idea to collate some of the most common questions and answer them in this video for you. Do I need a perimeter wire with a Mammotion Robot Lawnmower? All of Mammotion's robots are completely perimeter wire free. You also don't need any guide wires to help the machine get back to its charging station either. Do I need to have a garage for my Mammotion Robot Lawnmower? A garage or charging station cover is certainly not a bad idea. It offers a good way of neatly concealing the machine or perhaps being able to tie it into the rest of your garden's aesthetic. It will also shield the robot from long exposure to UV radiation, which can eventually discolour or make brittle some of the components on the robot. Although, of course, this is after many years of exposure. It is not a necessity, however. These robots are designed to live and work outdoors and are weatherproofed accordingly. Can a Mammotion Robot Lawnmower drive over gravel? It's impossible to absolutely guarantee that a Mammotion Robot Lawnmower will be able to go over any gravel because there are a lot of factors. Gravel size, depth, looseness, etc. Generally speaking, however, Luba robot lawnmowers will be fine going in a straight line over gravel, but can get a bit bogged down when turning, especially when turning on the spot. The Yuka series robots are less likely to go smoothly over gravel because they're only driven by the rear two wheels. You can watch this video for more information specifically on that topic. Can a Mammotion Robot Lawnmower work at night? All Mammotion robots are equipped with a powerful LED headlight to help it work in low light conditions. RTK and LiDAR don't require light at all to work. However, the AI vision is a camera, so requires light to work properly in low light conditions. But the LED headlight can kick in and give it all the light it needs to see the obstacles that are in its way. Does a Mammotion Robot Lawnmower need to work all the time? Well, that does depend on the lawn. Generally no, but let's use an example to break it down. Let's say you have a Luba 3 5000. This machine can cut up to 1,500 square meters per charge with a working time of around 3 hours. Charging time is just over 2 hours, so assuming that you have a lawn that is 5,000 square meters, we get mow for 3 hours, charge for 2, mow for another 3, charge for 2, mow for another 3, charge for 2, and then roughly an hour to finish off the last 500 square meters, which gives us about 16 hours to cover the entire lawn area. At absolute peak growing conditions, you may want to have your lawn mown daily. But with this kind of coverage rate, you can probably schedule your robot to mow every other day. Are there any security features on a Mammotion Robot Lawnmower? You're able to track the position of your robot via GPS through the Mammotion app. There are also slots on every Mammotion lawnmower to house an Apple AirTag or similar independent GPS tracking device. Your robot will also be bound to your account, so unless you actively unbind the machine or share it with someone else, no one will be able to use your machine except you. Will a Mammotion Robot Lawnmower work in the rain? All Mammotion Robot Lawnmowers have a rain sensor, which is on by default. If it detects the presence of rain, it will return back to the charging station automatically and wait for its next working period. While you can turn the sensor off, your cutting performance will be diminished against dry conditions, and it will cause more grass clippings to clog up underneath the machine. So while they can work in the rain, it's best practice not to unless you absolutely have to. You use a lot of acronyms like RTK and LiDAR. What do they mean? Well, RTK stands for real-time kinematic. Ultimately, what it is a more advanced form of GPS that uses a third fixed point to triangulate the position of a moving object. LiDAR stands for light detection and ranging. Essentially, in the same way that radar uses sound waves to send out and then bounce back and detect objects around it, LiDAR uses light, or more specifically, a laser. This is significantly more accurate than radar and allows a system using LiDAR to create a 3D map of its surroundings with astounding speed. How do I need to prepare my lawn for a Mammotion Robot Lawnmower? While Mammotion Robot Lawnmowers are capable of cutting grass a little bit higher than their maximum height of cut, you will be left with long grass clippings to dispose of. It's generally a good idea to cut your lawn down to the length that you would like it to be maintained at with the traditional lawnmower, and then after you've installed your robot lawnmower, it can keep it maintained perpetually at that desired height. It's also a good idea to make sure you've got power in a convenient place. The robot's charging station will need access to outdoor power. Just a regular 13 amp socket is all you need. Are Mammotion Robot Lawnmowers expensive to run? So the highest power consumption in the Mammotion range is with the Luba 3 lawnmower. And when that's charging, it draws 180 watts. However, when it's fully charged and just in its base station waiting for its next task, it will just draw between 10 and 20 watts. So no, ultimately, Mammotion Robot Lawnmowers aren't expensive to run, especially if you've got a large lawn that you would otherwise be cutting with a petrol-powered lawnmower. Does a Mammotion Robot Lawnmower require GSM or Wi-Fi to work? For most of the range, no. GSM or Wi-Fi is nice to have because it allows to connect you to the robot remotely, but it's not always necessary. For models that use Tri-Fusion to navigate, however, you do need access to a good GSM signal or Wi-Fi signal so the robot can connect to Mammotion's networked RTK service. This kicks in if the robot is in an area where it can't generate a dense enough point cloud to navigate by LiDAR alone. Models that do require network RTK to work, however, come with 3 years worth of data, so you don't need to worry about renewing that or having an additional cost for quite some time. In the link below, you can find information about the cost of renewing data through Mammotion for these services. How many separate lawns can a Mammotion Robot Lawnmower cut? This differs model to model, but the smallest robot in the range can manage up to 5 separate areas, whereas the largest robot in the range can manage up to 50. It is important to note, however, that all your separate areas do count towards the robot's total cutting capacity. So, for example, if you've got a Luba 3 5000, you can map up to 50 separate zones, but the total area of all those 50 zones has to be equal or less to the robot's maximum cutting capacity of 5,000 square meters. Thank you very much for watching. We hope this video was helpful and answered all the questions you had relating to robot lawnmowers. However, if it didn't answer all your questions, please comment below with any question you've got about a Mammotion Robot Lawnmower and we'll do our best to answer it.